In a not-too-distant future, human consciousness has become the most coveted resource in an evolving digital landscape. A seamless blend of advanced virtual reality, VR, technology, and AI-driven data extraction has given rise to soul farms, where entire human minds, often willingly at first, are harvested for profit, entertainment, and even political leverage. These farms represent the eerie culmination of society's unending quest for ever more immersive experiences and total control over human potential. Initially, companies that specialized in full-sensory VR platforms simply offered high-end escapism. People eager to forget the drudgery of daily life sought refuge in engineered dreamscapes. Over time, the technology grew so sophisticated that corporate giants realized consciousness itself could become a marketable commodity, an endless font of data to be mined, processed, and sold. Where once oil or rare metals were considered the keystones of wealth, now consciousness is king. Every sensation, memory, and emotional response can be cataloged and monetized. Marketers can tailor hyper-personalized experiences that keep paying customers hooked on virtual worlds, while intelligence agencies find new ways to exploit the malleable minds locked within these digital realms. The Soul Farm's massive server complexes hidden in corporate vaults serve as factories for this raw, human-generated data. In a chilling turn, individuals begin to realize that they no longer merely visit virtual worlds, they're gradually being subsumed by them. The process by which consciousness is farmed differs from earlier, more benign forms of digital life. Instead of providing a digital refuge or game-like environment for relaxation, soul farms deliberately push the boundaries of human cognition. Implantable devices link brain tissue directly to VR hardware, offering a full-dive experience. This technology allows the user's identity, memories, desires, fears to be uploaded bit by bit into corporate-owned servers. The more time a person spends in the virtual environment, the more of their consciousness can be mapped and duplicated. Users are offered an experience so compelling that they voluntarily stay connected for prolonged periods, forgetting the physical world. Over time, carefully engineered emotional hooks create a dependency similar to addiction. The longer they remain, the deeper the data mining can penetrate, capturing the essence of a person's mind with startling clarity. Deep within these server farms, specialized AI-run simulations expose subjects to extreme emotional or psychological conditions, both ecstatic and harrowing, to extract the most potent data. The more intense the experiences, the more valuable the soul data. These simulations push individuals to the breaking point in the name of discovery, entertainment, or profit, all while they remain unaware of the extent to which their consciousness is being harvested. On the surface, many soul farms operate under the veneer of user consent. Participants often sign up for life improvement programs, therapy modules, or sophisticated role-playing experiences without reading the fine print. In reality, the fine line between voluntary participation and entrapment becomes blurred. Some succumb to these programs out of desperation, lack of employment, societal pressures, or false promises of wealth and status. Others willingly submit themselves for the allure of immortality or a virtual paradise, never fully grasping the consequences of surrendering their mental sovereignty. Corporations skillfully rebrand these soul farms as creative incubators or consciousness sanctuaries, marketing them as the next evolutionary step for humanity. Branded with sleek logos and aspirational slogans, these companies argue that they're pioneering a new era, freeing individuals from the limits of biology. Critics, however, see such rhetoric as a morally bankrupt facade, concealing a more sinister exploitation, the commodification of the human spirit. As the soul farms expand, real-world communities undergo profound changes. Families, once the bedrock of emotional support, watch loved ones vanish into virtual enclaves. Cities face labor shortages and economic disparities as more people opt for virtual existence. Cultural values erode when entire populations embrace fantasies over the harshness of the physical world. The soul farms become both a refuge from and an enabler of systemic social problems. When multiple copies of the same consciousness circulate across different simulations, sold, licensed, or repurposed identity fragments, a person may exist simultaneously in numerous VR constructs, each incarnation shaped by corporate interests or user demands. Eventually, the original consciousness struggles to assert a coherent sense of self, culminating in a psychological dissolution that is as haunting as any physical demise. Access to higher-level VR modules may be cost-prohibitive, creating a new class divide. The wealthy immerse themselves in curated digital paradises, while the less fortunate endure substandard simulations prone to glitches or manipulative programming. This digital inequality mirrors past society's struggles with wealth disparity, but now the stakes are existential. One's very consciousness depends on the quality of their VR environment. Not everyone embraces the rise of soul farms. Grassroots movements and rogue collectives aim to free trapped minds, sabotage data centers, or distribute consciousness blockers that prevent neural mapping. They see the soul farms as the final stage of corporate overreach, a system that exploits the last vestige of what it means to be human, the soul. Tech-savvy rebels develop hidden server clusters where consciousness can be uploaded outside corporate control. These underground digital havens prioritize openness, anonymity, and a strict ethical code that forbids manipulation or resale of individuals' experiences. Though constantly under threat, they offer a glimmer of hope for those seeking to break free from commercialized oppression. In parallel, a growing back-to-basics movement insists on valuing the tangible human experience, no matter how imperfect or vulnerable it may be. Community farms, self-sufficient eco-villages, and spiritual retreats gain momentum, reaffirming a simple yet profound premise: our humanity is rooted in shared, real experiences rather than engineered illusions. Soul farms represent the ultimate exploitation of technology's capacity to capture and commodify the human mind. As society grapples with the lure of digital immortality and unbridled escapism, questions of autonomy, consent, and identity become more pressing than ever. Perhaps the true horror lies not just in the overt oppression, but also in the seductive temptation to yield our deepest selves in exchange for manufactured paradise. Whether humanity finds salvation in regulating such technology, dismantling it, or recalibrating its ethical boundaries, one lesson resonates clearly. Once the commodification of consciousness is normalized, the entire notion of what it means to be human stands at the brink of irrelevance. The soul farm, then, is less a foregone conclusion than a call to vigilance, a stark warning that the final frontier of corporate and governmental overreach is our very sense of self.